The opening of a presentation should be a lot like the beginning of a TV show. Now, how many people in here like to watch TV? Got a lot of hands there. My wife and I like to watch two particular shows. We'll DVR them every week. We like to watch Castle. We like to watch The Big Bang Theory. And they both start with something very different. One's a drama. The drama has a dead body. First 30 seconds, they're setting the scene for the rest of the show. In the rest of the show, we're going to figure out who done it. In The Big Bang Theory, it's about 30 seconds worth of comedy. There's some kind of a comedy routine that will set up the rest of the show. Your presentation needs to be a lot like that. Why is that? Why do we need to capture the audience's attention? Because an audience is a lot like how I watch TV. I will sit in front of the TV with my remote in hand, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out if something is going to capture my interest. Now, I don't know if it's just me or if it's all guys, but a lot of times I don't even care what's on TV. I just care what else is on TV. I just want to click through. But we're trying to find something that is going to capture our interest. And if 30 seconds into your presentation you stand up and say, "Good morning, thanks for being here today. I've got a lot of great information that I'm going to share with you, and I'm really excited to be here. And we're going to cover about my products and my services." What's going to happen? 30 seconds in. What are you doing? I want to change the channel. But in a presentation, I can't change the speaker. And I probably can't walk out of the room because this is my team meeting. And it's my boss, and I really can't be that rude. So what are you going to do? You're going to still change the channel, but you're going to do it in a different way. What do you do? Yeah, start daydreaming. Pull my phone out. Start looking at my emails. Starting to do something that's going to disconnect me from the speaker. So it is critical that we start the presentation with something that is going to capture the audience's attention from the very beginning so that they want to keep listening. I'm not going to say good morning is a bad way to start your presentation because it could be a way to relate and connect to your audience. But I want to do something and say something that's going to keep them interested in what we're going to talk about. The formula that we create, the ramp that is going to be the ramp that gets you into the presentation. Because once you get to the body, once you get to your main points and your stories and your supporting data, you're good. You're on cruise control then. You know that part. It's that first 30 seconds. It's sometimes those first 2 minutes where you stumble. You struggle with that. You get nervous and you fumble around and you might use a lot of filler words to start. This formula called CABA is going to help get you into the presentation, relate to the audience, preview what you're going to talk about, and get the presentation started on the right foot. Here's the formula, CABA, C-A-B-A. The formula itself is broken into 4 pieces, and you can deliver the formula in any order. Do not think you have to go C, then A, then B, then A. You can go in any order. It's like gumbo. You put it all into the pot, and at the end, it's just a good tasting stew. So we're going to put all these ingredients into our opening, and when they're all there, we're going to connect with that audience. So here's what needs to be in your presentation. Number one, you got to have credibility. Somehow, some way, your audience wants to know that you know what you're talking about. Now, this is not a 10-minute, I'm going to stand up here and read my resume to you. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants somebody who's going to stand up and brag about themselves on and on and on. But I do need to know that whatever you are talking about, whether it's nutrition, whether it's real estate, whether it's insurance, whether it's presentation skills, that I want to somehow know that you have some experience in this. If I don't know you, I need to know your name. I need to know your background. How long have you been doing this? What's an example of somewhere where you've been doing it? What about at a team meeting? If I walk into my team meeting and I say, "Hi, my name's Kevin Karschnik, and I've been professionally speaking for 22 years, and I'm the co-author of a book called Corporate Ovations," what do you think my team's going to say to me? He's like, "Yeah, we know that. What have you been drinking this morning?" It wouldn't be a way to connect. That's not credibility with my team who knows me. My credibility of the presentation would be, what's the topic? Am I presenting on what? And my credibility and my experience on that topic, and I wouldn't use my name in that particular situation. How will you show your audience you're credible? The second piece is a big one. This is one of my favorites. It's the attention getter. How are you going to grab their attention? This is typically the one that I start with, although it's not a rule because you can use any of these in any order. But there are 4 ways that you can do this. Number 1, you can open with a quote. The human brain starts working the moment you were born, and it doesn't stop until you stand to speak in public. There's a quote. You could quote somebody famous. You could use a story to open a presentation. 8 years ago, I had an opportunity to fly to Hollywood, California, and spend an entire day coaching the president of Fox Television before his presentation to Rupert Murdoch. And you continue that story. That might be the opening line that I use to capture the audience's attention when I'm teaching presentation skills. You might open with a statistic or a fact or a statement of some kind. Does anybody know or did anyone know that the number 1 fear in America is? Snakes. The number 2 fear is speaking in public. So you might use that as a statistic, or the 4th way is you could turn it into a question and actually engage your audience. Does anyone know what the number 1 fear in America is? And you could engage your audience, and be it a rhetorical question, be it a question where you're looking for answers, or you're looking for it to just be the kickstart that grabs that audience's attention. So you could use a story, you could use a statement, you could use a quote, and you could use, what's the last one? A question to engage your audience. I just did that with you. That was the question part. The 3rd piece is the body. You've heard this. You know this. This comes from a 1936 book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. He said, when you open a presentation, you tell them what you're going to tell them. In the body of the presentation, you tell them. And in the close of the presentation, you tell them what you told them. In the opening of your presentation, you need to preview what it is you're going to talk about. You need to give them the roadmap as to where you're going in the presentation, because if I don't know that I'm on the right bus, then I might want to get off. So tell me where we're going. Don't give me a lot of detail. Don't get into the weeds with all the specifics, but just give me a big picture as to what are we going to do in the next 10 minutes? What are we going to do in the next 30 minutes? Or what are we going to do all day today if it's an all-day workshop? Give me a preview of the body. It's not the body, it's the preview of the body. And then the 4th piece, you need to connect. You need to relate to your audience. This is where know your purpose, know your audience come in. You have to use something that relates and connects to that group. Are you talking to baseball fans? Are you talking to the finance group? Are you talking to your team? Are you at a customer that's in the oil and gas industry? Do something, say something that relates and connects to that group. Other things you can do that really connect with people are the words we use. I am going to talk to you about this is not a very connecting statement. We are going to discuss this together. We is a very connecting word that you can use that is part of connecting to your audience. So you want to establish your credibility. You want to grab their attention. You want to preview what it is you're going to talk about. And you want to relate or connect to that audience. This is what I would call the corporate version of a Hollywood opening. It might not have a dead body. We might not have a comedy routine. But if it captures, and most importantly, keeps the attention of your audience, you're going to have a better chance of having them follow you through the body of the presentation all the way to the very end. Thanks.